Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a new edition of Metaworld News. This is our headlines for the week ending the 11th of May. 2019. Now, for those of you who've just received a little alert and are tuned in to watch us live over on YouTube and whatever, you will realise, or you may not, but you probably realise if you know this show, that we're a day early. Um, we'll still be in replay throughout the week, but we're actually recording this for various reasons one day early this week. So that's why you got your live alert a little bit early, if indeed you're watching it live. So, on with the show, so to speak. I'm Mal Burns, and I have a Twitter feed with a whole load of VR type, human computer interfacing type stuff in it. So you'll find it at twitter.com/malburns, MALBURNS. We also have an additional Twitter feed for Metaworld News. Again, squash it into one word, twitter.com/Metaworld News, which is particularly, has a few bits and pieces about actual inhabited virtual worlds, so to speak, as opposed to just the technology. And yes, you can find the news there. Also, here in the studio, I'm joined by James Atloud, who will speak from time to time, but basically is multitasking on that wonderful sort of board in front of him and those two monitors, switching all our camera angles and stuff like that, doing the tech stuff. So, welcome, James.
Oh, thank you, Mal, and thanks for adjusting the schedule. Real life tends to work against our virtual life sometimes.
Yes, indeed. Well, in fact, this is a bit like a podcast, really. People will tune in when they will. So
True,
it's
true.
the vast majority of people, don't actually watch it live. They sort of see it during the week. So I don't think anybody's too upset we're early. And maybe some people are darn pleased we're early. Maybe Saturday's a day they can make it, whereas Sunday's a day they can't, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go figure, go figure. We just don't know, do we? Okay, the other thing James is doing in part of this sort of multi-camera effort as well is he has a feed coming from my desktop where I've actually loaded some of the links we'll be talking about here. And I think we'll get on with that without any further ado. My first link actually goes to a site called Engadget, Engadget.com. And as you can see at the moment, if James brings it up, we've got another one of those sort of dystopian pictures where they might have different clothes on, but they're all wearing not only headsets but almost identical headsets. And I keep thinking, yeah, this is the future. It looks like they all they need is a few pipes and sort of like a hospital setting with stuff to feed them while they're in there.
Oh my.
Um, yeah. Anyway, the title of this article is "A Virtual Cave Got Me Excited About the Future of Social VR." And it's actually a story about 50 people or more could be in the same digital world at once. Well, somebody should actually tell this journalist that you can already do that in OpenSim and in high fidelity. Um, this, however, is the virtual reality lab at New York University, and there's a cast with 50 headsets, and it's a 10 by 4 square room that's actually used as a motion capture stage at times, but on this occasion, was turned into a thing called The Cave, which premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, which would have been a week ago or something. And yeah, they're using what Parallax, the company involved, is calling a new shared XR technology named Mass Audience Synchronization Solution. Gosh golly. Yes, that's rock and roll to me. Right, the technology enables large-scale shared experiences in AR and VR so people can see and hear each other in virtual worlds. Oh, gosh golly. Go back in time a little bit and just pretend that, say, Lyndon Now never invented Second Life. Yeah, that's what these guys are doing. So yeah, what should we say? 20 years too late, I believe. Well, that's on the praising, but obviously this is different. In fact, it isn't from what I can see any kind of virtual world at all. It is simply an out of home experience that can actually, like going into virtuality in a game arcade and shoot 'em ups or stuff like that. Their thing basically seems to be that they can actually handle, concurrency of 50 people at once for events and stuff. And it's not a light thing because although they're wrong in pretending that they're the first, um, in practical terms, for the kind of things they would be doing with this, I mean, fully rendered photorealistic VR and stuff like that, then that side of scaling has not been possible in the past. So they're clearly onto something here, even if I do sound a bit bit cynical when I was reading out to that. Um, the cave at the moment can host up to 16 viewers concurrently. But apparently they managed to get 30 people into the experience for testing whilst they were at the Tribeca Film Festival. And yep, there's various photographs of it here. Most of the photographs seem to be showing the audience with their goggle headsets on, as I said, very dystopian looking.
Hmm.
And some of them show what was in the world. And I think you agree with me looking at that. It looks like some child's attempt at painting rather than anything particularly exciting VR wise. But there you go, there you
Yeah,
go.
some kind of cartoon shader.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Look there. Gosh golly, isn't that? Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Never seen anything like that before. Whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, I can put that one away and move on before we run out of time. Okay, we're back at Tribeca here. This is a post at vrscout.com. That's VR Scout, as in Boy Scouts, VR the letters, just like you see at the top here, vrscout.com. And this is back on the Tribeca Festival again. Their immersive Cinema 360 gave attendees a new perspective on social causes. So I thought this was all quite interesting too. Um, it was last week. So this time last week, we'd just seen it was the last day of the Tribeca Film Festival, in fact. But this article is simply looking at, I suppose you call them 3D, 360 projects, with addressing social injustice and other worthy causes, of course. Um, got a little summary there. There's not much I can say about it. Some nice pictures. Fairly exhaustive summary there. Oh dear, that doesn't look
Mm-hmm.
very. Um, that looks like something of a. I'm watching some kind of TV show that has a character like that in it, and is the ultimate menace. Right.
Okay.
12 seconds of gunfire. Yeah, I'm not going to play any of these, but you can see what more or less see what they are. Children do not play war, and load of credits at the bottom there. So a nice little roundup there, especially if you're interested in social causes. Right, this post is from the Rockcliffe University Consortium. I think that's right. Basically, it's just the conference proceedings from the Virtual World's Best Practices in Education conference that was a few weeks ago now, which we were involved in televising and stuff like that. So let's see. You can download your own copy. Oh, that's their. Oh no, that's their review and stuff. Um, so anyway, it's more about the. It's basically a special issue, the Journal of Virtual Studies with the VWP conference proceedings in it. So it's a PDF if you download the whole whack. Okay. All right, seven uses. This is I'm sorry. I
Hmm?
I think it's Rockcliffe. Can you remember Rockcliffe's web address? I forgot to read that out just now. Hang on, I can
Well,
probably
you can
get.
Google
Oh
it.
yeah, hang on. Reopen last closed tab. Here we go. Yeah, sorry, folks. This is the address you want for this is urockcliffe.com. So that's U as in university, and then Rockcliffe, ROCKCLIFFE, but all jammed together, urockcliffe.com, and that's where you can pick that up. Sorry, I forgot to mention that Earl at the time. Talking of Earls, this next one goes to readwrite.com. That's read, as in learning to read, and write, as in learning to write. But Another one that's jammed up into one word, readwrite.com. And it has 7 uses for virtual reality that you haven't explored yet. Yes, well, gosh golly. If I recall, we had another read write post from last week, which was 7 uses for something similar. If you
Oh,
see what I
it's
mean.
a
It must be
series. Okay.
it must be a series. Yeah, exactly. Just what I was thinking, a series. Okay, technology is emerging. New gadgets are being developed on a daily basis to make the lives of people more comfortable and more convenient, and to invade your privacy, but they don't work that. Word that one. Okay, benefits of VR technology, and they go into various things like clinical therapy, dentist training, driving and testing cars, revolutionizing retail shopping, architecture, interior design, grooming services. Oh gosh, golly,
Hmm.
don't need that one. Well, maybe I do. That's
Yeah, we can't tell.
debatable. God, oh yeah, exactly. Well, beauty is the virtual reality is you don't need to groom yourself. Okay, and the use of virtual reality in the military. Oh well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Hmm.
Okay, so general sort of roundup article there for those of you with a casual interest in catching up on such things. Readwrite.com. Right, VR Times, virtualitytimes.com is the full address. This is the full words, by the way. You can see the address at the top of the screen. Virtual Reality Times, all 3 words with the squash effect. virtualitytimes.com. And this is about Sony have patented a virtuality gyroscopic seat posture control system. Yes, well, I guess to get a patent, they have to make it a long-winded description, don't they? I'm sure somebody else has got something similar already, but apparently Sony have got a patent on a seat that is for posture control and includes a gyroscope and a control system to go with it. Yes, basically seems to be the idea, doesn't it? Um, anyway, the device apparently shifts the player's body orientation as they play virtual reality games. Now, actually, um, certainly if I was persuaded to pull on a little headset, for 5 minutes while I was working or something like that, the fact it was tethered to my computer probably would not bother me because I would only really use it to enter a sort of 3D interactive mode for something I had on screen already. Um, that said, I think one of the drawbacks to that is you put the headset up and you don't want to risk standing up and walking around in the environment because you're probably sitting at a desk. You will probably slip on your seat as you try and stand up, and then you will bump into various things on your desk before you can get to a free area of the floor. And when you find a free area of the floor, there's probably only 2 foot by 3 foot in which to move. Um, the idea that you can just stay seated and do it all while you're seated actually might be quite a good idea if we have this sort of seating posture control system. Then presumably I can maybe move my body around in a virtual world. Um, you know, uh, Based on my posture and things like that. I mean, technically, I could, I don't know. I can imagine sort of walking in a virtual world when I'm actually sitting, if you see what I mean. If I had something to move my feet on and move my body around, upper torso on the seat or something. So who knows? They may be onto something there, but I think they'll have to be pretty effective, and maybe down the line. But given the fact that HMD head-mounted displays seem to sort of run out of steam at the moment, it makes you wonder how many people will want to go for something like this, except maybe HMD owners who want yet another gadget to attach to themselves. Because the end game, I guess, is to cover yourself in technology so you can't find a spare inch of actual skin.
Okay.
Who knows? The patent requests a detailed posture control system which consists of a posture control unit. Well, of course it does. Capable of changing the direction of the user's body along with that of the head mounted display that the user is concurrently wearing. So, obviously, something that will work with your head mounted display and your Lycra bodysuit and your gloves and your treadmill and your no, I won't go into the underwear section today.
Oh
Right.
my. Okay.
Okay, just move far more palatable now. Um, I think it's maybe a medium or probably embedded on High Fidelity's website. The High Fidelity blog, anyway, May the 7th, a few days ago now. Philip Rosedale writes about To Order Digital World. Um, this he has obviously written. Um, it's one of his nice sort of, hey, this is going to be our future sort of thing. Um, this is obviously written since the changes at High Fidelity because he actually gets to cover that later down as we get down here. As of today, probably still have a few years to wait. VR headsets, etc. Not comfortable enough to wear for very long. Can't be used to read, write messages, take notes, or do most kinds of work. This, of course, has been one of the arguments for the changes at High Fidelity recently. But anyway, you can go to the High Fidelity blog here to read more about it. The address you need to go to is, believe it or not, www.highfidelity.com. High Fidelity, of course, being all one word for the purposes of the old wobble verse. And slash blog slash towards the digital world. But I'm sure you'll find it without any problem just if you get to High Fidelity. So, right, another role. This one goes again to vrscout.com. VR the letters, then scouts, but all one word, vrscout.com. And again, something about Tribeca Immersive, VR Arcade in review. I should really have grouped the links earlier together with this, but I'm afraid they've come up in the order in which they were posted. So, um, yeah, cute little picture. At least it doesn't look quite so dystopian, but it's still somebody in a contraption. Right. Um, Award-winning mixed reality pushes boundaries but needs more viewers. And steady streaming visitors at the Tribeca event. And yeah, oh, that looks nice. Seems to be
Hmm.
organic-y sort of thing. That's something from Aya Hasusha or something by somebody called Joker. I don't think I'm going to try and read that actually. Look there. If you can see that credit, you try pronouncing that because I can't.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, and the person's name Jan
Jan Kunin.
Kunin.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, James, you should be doing this. You can
No,
actually
I
translate
can't.
it. You can translate these things, can't you?
I can
Okay,
I can imagine, but not
I can
really.
imagine. Okay, well, it's very pretty, whatever it is, and whoever it is. Okay,
Agreed.
social impact. Let's see. Well, they're considering their efforts. Oh no, 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 no! Please, what is this? Your reaction to dog content. Well, no wonder we have cats. Who wanted? I don't know what that's about, folks, but I think I'll go for cats any day. There's something interesting, 3D on a phone by the look of it. Anyway, yeah, that's from Jessica Brillhart. I know that name. Into the Light. It's obviously a mobile phone VR of some sort. And oh, I must say, I laughed at this picture. Um, That actually is the journalist who wrote the article saying, yours truly checking out Game of Thrones The Dead Must Die, which is made for Magic Leap 1. I think she
Hmm.
means she's checking out the set
Yeah.
for it. um, Presumably that's part of the set that would be filmed for the experience. I don't know. The Dead Must Die. Anyway, yes, well, Game of Thrones being pretty topical at the moment, of
Yeah.
course, aren't they?
Yep.
So anyway, we've got a nice picture out of that. One nice picture. Okay, let's close that one and move to whatever our next one is. Back to Virtual Reality Times. Three long words squashed together.com. Virtual Reality Times. And this one's of particular interest to people in Britain here, I guess. The BBC, our national. Well, they were a treasure once upon a time. I don't really know, but understand what they're doing now. Um, they're showcasing virtuality across UK libraries. Well, presumably they've got, this is one of those strange things where they've got plenty of taxpayers' money to play with, so they've got to invent ideas to spend it on. They're planning various VR experiences and demonstrations, including a documentary series that they produced about Dr. Congo. and the Lancaster bomber, air raids. Gosh, very interesting stuff. And they're talking. Sorry, they're touring it around libraries in the UK. Um, Now, to be fair, I suppose this might, the sort of people who go to libraries have probably never been in VR or never even sort of considered it, so they might actually be sort of curious when this thing turns up. I can't see it having a great impact on the national or international take up of HMD headsets, to be honest. But we'll see. I suppose this is a kind of nice idea. Libraries are probably quite a good place to put this thing because people are sitting there, and they've got sort of time on their hands for the experience. But again, we're back to as the picture shows, a big clunky headset, and once the wow factor is over, do you really want to keep wearing that damn thing? Oh yeah, I do, because I'm a gamer. Got to have it all. Anybody else?
Oh
Get the
my.
idea. Get the idea.
Uh,
Yeah,
real
there we
real
are.
cynical
Two,
today.
more- two, yeah, two more dystopian zombies sitting in a library. Yes. Gosh, isn't that so exciting?
Uh, those look like
Y-
Oculus
y-
Go, I believe.
They do, don't they? I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
the other one.
Yeah, it's the
Well,
same
it could be.
controller. Yep.
It could, of course. Well, I've got one of those, so I
You
should
do.
know.
You
But
do.
yeah, I've got one, but of course I've hardly can't be bothered to put it on. It's just too much work. Right, so 1943 Berlin Blitz, darkest chapter of human history. Anyway, I mean it's all stuff that basically fits in the library. There you are, Berlin Blitz. People just do nothing on Congo VR. Seems to be the three titles they developed for that kind of tour. People Just Do Nothing is a light-hearted 360-degree rendition of the popular comedy series called oh, People Just Do Nothing. Well, I've never heard of it.
Hmm.
I don't watch comedy. I don't watch BBC either. Well, except in replays and stuff. Okay. Let me click away before I do a rabbit hole job on the BBC. VR concert platform. This is sad news, I guess. This is uploadvr.com. Upload, big word, VR, two letters, .com, squashed together, of course. VR concert platform, Melody VR, posts 14.7 million US dollar loss and is turning its focus to mobile. So there we go, another VR venture bites the dust, so to speak. Um, it is actually pointed out in this article that they aren't going anywhere. The company will still be continuing, but they will be focusing on their mobile strategy as VR continues to grow. I guess they hope it will still grow and that they can move back into VR concerts at a later point. Um, there were quite a few sort of interesting things. I don't know where they were. No, this is the company that did one with Adele, actually.
Mm. Hmm.
There were similar things done. I know people like Paul McCartney did it. The idea was they'd record a track, live, and you could in the VR experience you could walk around, on stage with them. Because they're in a Fangles film that you could walk around, Paul McCartney's piano, view it from different angles. And of course, there are other virtual reality sound experiments going on, which I find very interesting, where you could literally, hear an orchestra playing and you could walk around, uh, an entire orchestra, and the loudness of the individual instruments, for example, will go up or down according to your proximity. It's a bit like, you are the mixer, except that instead of pulling knobs up and down, sliders up and down on the mixing deck, you're walking around your own living organic mixer, so to speak, which I found rather intriguing. But anyway, rabbit hole, rabbit hole.
Oh,
So
sorry. Oh, not
no,
paying
no,
attention.
that's just me. I wasn't. I hadn't gone in there long enough for it to be needed to be dragged out.
Okay.
Right, VR console platform has turned focus to mobile. So sad news there at uploadvr.com. Right, now VR Scout again. VR the letters, Scout as in Boy Scout, squashed together. Within have been around for quite a long while. They were on Google Cardboard, if I believe, and they're certainly on most other platforms. This is again largely 360 video kind of virtual reality, but they've actually released the first of a series of VR um, things done with CNN. That's a news channel for those of you who don't know. It's written there as CNN, sorry, CNN VR, and I don't know why, but I you don't see the CNN part of it with the VR on the end. Well, I didn't anyway.
Mm.
So, news documentaries, this of course is, and they're releasing five of them. Let me see, all produced for CNN. Um, there's a video there advertising they're coming to within. Um, I have to wait till July the 6th to view the entire catalogue of news documentaries. Oh, so there we go. Um, that one I've heard of before. This is an inside looking an ordinary day in North Korea. That sounds highly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cough, cough. But there again, maybe it is. After all, we just get the propaganda version given to us by the West.
Yeah.
Iceland is melting. Is another one, and Toro Bravo, which drops users into a live bullfighting pit in Spain. I don't think that sounds so exciting. Extreme rescues in New York Police Department, and yeah, two of them are actually North Korea. So there you go. And I
Does it say
presume,
what platforms it's available for?
good point. And just giving a little bit of moving image.
Yeah.
Oh, God!
You got your bull. You got your bullfight.
That was the ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Uh, that's North Korea, I presume. And this, yeah, yeah, okay. So a nice little shorter, a free bit of PR for their video there. Good point. Good point. Oh, here we are. Google Android and Apple's iOS system. Probably a few others. I mean, within the app is on everything. I mean, it's on Google Go. I know.
Okay.
Sorry, not Google Go. The Oculus Go.
Oculus Go.
Within are available just about everywhere. It's the standard 360 stuff, but it's very well directed, and in this case, collaborating with CNN, who
Okay.
you think probably know what they're doing. All right, VR Times. Right, virtual reality times, three longwords.com. That meaning virtualitytimes.com, not three longwords.com. You can try three longwords.com, but I don't know where it'll get you. Right, Chinese video streaming company IQE. Why did Chinese? Well, I'm sure the names mean something to them. It's just you think they'd have Western subsidiaries with names we can pronounce. They've released a new VR headset, and this is actually a Chinese video entertainment company. So you've got to imagine, I don't know, imagine something like I don't know, in Britain we got ITV or Channel 4 or something. Um, yeah, CBS or something in America. The idea being that a television channel, for example, might release its own headset so you can watch their broadcast produce in a headset. Um, anyway, yeah, 280 grams, 9 ounce, well, 10 ounces. The device is relatively light and won't give you the heft you would get for other HMDs. You can wear it comfortably without grappling with feelings of discomfort or sickness. Here is a picture of the contraption itself. It looks, to be honest, this looks like a robot dog filmed from the backside with a backpack on, doesn't it?
Oh my. Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That was my first impression. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
what's that headset? Then I realised that the bit that looks like the backpack is actually the front,
Yeah.
and the bit at the top that looks like an inverted dog's head is presumably the thing that keeps it on your head. So it actually looks quite bulky despite maybe being lightweight. And I presume all the stuff underneath is simply a stand for keeping it on, and the remote
And a
controller has got a
controller.
stand of its
Yeah.
own.
Yep.
But when it's all together like that, I just thought it was looked like, there'd been China or Japan, I thought, oh, it's a robot dog. Yeah, I'm getting too old for this. Blame it on senility. It's not a robot dog, it's a headset. Come on, Mal. Come on, Mal.
First impressions, right?
First impressions, yes, indeed. It's actually got 4K resolution. It uses Wi-Fi connection, so you don't have to worry about wiring. And the advertised starting price is in US dollars. It's 294 US dollars, which is quite competitive for a mid-market VR headset niche. And the company's previous headset model, the VR2, was actually worth at least £100 more. I didn't quite get that, whether they're saying the previous model was worth £100 more than they actually charged for it, or whether it means it cost at least £100 more. And so this one's cheaper is
Hmm.
a bit hard to work out from that sentence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, and no new headsets. I don't normally cover new headsets, but this seems to be a slight departure from the mold, so to speak, and mid range as opposed to high end or bog standard bottom end, whatever bottom end is. Right now, of course, talking of mid range, this is the obvious. Google's had its conference this week and it's been talking excitably about its assistant and all the rest of it. And they have Google Daydream, which is basically a plastic, somewhat better kitted out inside version of the original Google Cardboard. And you can still get it on the Google Store, but you. They're simply unloading excessive stock, apparently. They're not making any more and scratch another immersive technology development off the list. After high hopes and promises of a ubiquitous mobile VR platform, Google Daydream is essentially over. And I'm sure quite a lot of people picked it up. There was a lot of hype in it. I mean, it will still work, and but you can, it's the sort of thing I imagine you'll still be able to use for many years to come. It's just that if you want to buy a fresh one, there won't be any new ones available. And yeah, yeah, quite a long analysis there. As you can see, there's no actual pictures for me to show you. So, to find out more about that, you need to go to digitalbodies.net. That's digital and then bodies, as in human bodies, plural, but all one word again. So it's two squash words, this one. Digitalbodies.net. And you can find that article from a couple of days ago. No, from yesterday, actually, May 10th. Yes. Um, on the demise of Daydream and the wherefores and the whys, by the look of it. Okay, quite a few. Well, actually, probably not as many as normal, but this week there are certainly several, maybe 3 or 4 episodes of the Voices of VR podcast. You'll find this at Voices of VR, or one word there, .com. And again, oh, this would be, I got this yesterday, but it seems to have today's date on it. Um, Spatial Exiles creative collaboration with HoloLens 2. Um, I don't post all the links to all their podcasts here. I haven't listened to this either. The reason I would have posted this really is it seems to sort of uh, concentrate on the creative side of things. A lot of this series now are focusing on highly technical and enterprise stuff, which I think has a limited appeal to many listeners. But this at least is a sort of a creative talk. Um, it's an interview basically with the co-founder of a company called Spatial, the CEO Anand. Love it, another one I can't pronounce. Right, talking about his vision of what spatial computing is going to make possible and facilitating the flow states of collective intelligence through a more intuitive and human-centered interface with technology and some of the deeper ethical considerations that should be taken into account when designing an immersive computing platform. So there you go, pretty serious stuff there, and rightly so. And Right, that seems to be an advert for Microsoft. Fair enough. We don't need that. Moving on. VR Times yet again, virtual reality times.com, three words all jumbled together there. And proof of the pudding, really. The average headset owner spends 6 hours per month using their virtual reality headsets. Well, firstly, this does seem to have been an American survey. So this really should be average American headset owners. Um, and it's well, it's hard to gauge from the way they actually talk about this, but they don't use the word only, but one gets the feeling that that is the focus. They somehow expected people to be spending more times in headsets than simply 6 hours during the whole month. Um, Average virtual reality headset owner spends just 6 hours every month using their device, according to IDC's report. Gaming accounts for the most popular user case for the headsets, with 72 saying they play virtual reality game within the last 3 months. Another stock photo picture to go with that. I've seen that before. That's quite nice. Don't you like the butterfly? Yes, you do. For IDC report was drawn from 5 localized surveys carried out. Oh, sorry, it isn't just America. They did US, Germany, France, Japan, and the UK. And the survey took place during the holiday quarter. Right, so I do apologise for my intro to that. I don't know why I assumed it. I had been under the impression it was just American. And they put the poll included 1,643 users. And these were all users of high-end headsets, so they weren't polling people with daydreams or garbles or anything. Um, Basically, it included people that had PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, or HTC Vive. So you know, um, certainly, it does seem to be a thing of people who can afford it have bought this thing, especially for gaming. But maybe they're not actually using it quite as much as some people marketers would have you think. Understandable, in my opinion. Right, not quite film. This is a post from the Guardian today, although actually it's from Thursday the 2nd of May. So why I only got it today, I don't know. There is no Guardian on. Oh yeah, hang on, today's Saturday, isn't it? Oh god,
Mm,
sorry.
it's okay.
That's it's the Observer on Sunday. It's the Guardian the rest of the week. Anyway, this is actually dated May the 2nd. Um, it's an article. Guardian is a great newspaper, and they're asking the question. Not quite film and not quite games. Is interactive mixed reality the future of storytelling? And cutting edge tech with VR augmented reality, inspiring new narrative forms. Creators at the Sundance Film Festival's New Frontier are excited, and that's all you get really. It's just a nice long article looking at everything. It's not so exactly heavily illustrated, as you can see. Oh, there's a few here and a few trailers. But yeah, nice general article, quite extensive in its coverage there. Right now, hello. That was on pause, but it doesn't seem to have stayed that way. Right, this is at YouTube. This is actually YouTube. Oh God, yeah, I can't give you the full link. This is actually on our Metaverse news feed. Ryan Schultz has episode 7 of a thing he calls Metaverse Newscast, and it's an interview with director Jason Moore. Um, the interview was conducted in high fidelity, and Jason Moore, the subject, is the creator of the Meta Movie project, which we did actually mention here last week. I don't know how much of the um, stuff you can read on there. Um, Anyway, the Meta Movie project is actually looking for backers and people. The idea is it's going to be a kind of not a movie and not a game, and it will have you can audition to be an actor and various things like that. It's not nearly as unique as the PR has been making it sound. But anyway, quite an interesting little video there, so you can find that on the appropriate link. And I do believe, yes, I do believe that we're oh, that's your movie director. Ryan Schultz is the bog standard avatar with a funny hat.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm going to dispose of this now. Uh, don't want to go around
Well,
showing other
looks
people
like a
stuff.
location in High Fidelity, which is a TV
Yes,
studio.
it
Yep.
is. Yes, it is actually high fidelity. It's that's actually a community welcome area that the users have created. I recognise they're actually quite high up, and there's a city backdrop all around that
Hmm.
when you look out the windows.
And there's
So I
some
recognise.
TV production facility builds there.
There was one, but it um, that I went to try and do some of the stuff, and it's just full of it's I don't think it's ever been used, and it's just unusable. It's
Hmm.
it's like a warehouse
No, I'm
that's
just
been
saying. I'm
abandoned.
just
It's
saying
got
it's there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't seem to be usable anymore. I don't think it's at all. But there are quite a few places. I've been wandering around looking for places in there actually because to film anything there, you want two things. One is a decent sort of set and background, and you probably the possibility to put the backdrop up yourself live. But the other thing is a private area too, because if there's one thing I've noticed in High Fidelity, and that is that if you log in and do something, then other people in there are looking at the map and they can see all the people online and where they are, and you tend to get an audience whether you want one or not. And there's no guarantee what the behavior of that audience is like. They're probably not coming to be in your audience. They're probably coming in to stick their noses into your business. So there are various requirements to that. And I quite like this dog. I mean, there are some interesting kind of avatars. I think
Hmm.
Ryan Schultz himself needs to do something. I was wearing that avatar for a short period of time when I was first in High Fidelity because it's so photorealistic. But you walk around in High Fidelity and there are several hundred avatars that look exactly like Ryan Schultz, so you wouldn't recognise him if you saw him, so to speak. Anyway, that's it. That's it. Have to say,
Oh.
um, yep. Oh, and there's your, we don't want to see that. I'll just have a bit of nice sort of screen stuff in
Oh,
the background
hypnotizing,
to
right?
talk over. Yes, yes, you will. We can hypnotize you and sort of psychedelicize you away. But before we go, I'm going to turn to James and say, any thoughts on all that stuff?
Oh my goodness, I had thoughts way back, but
Yes, I know, a long show, you've forgotten them.
yeah.
I
Well,
know
the
the,
you know the
I know the feeling.
yeah the daydream story was not that surprising. I mean, I don't
No.
know. It's just it's a again, it was an interim thing like the cardboard. It's a great way to get a taste, but it's something
Yeah.
I wouldn't use on a regular basis. So I can't imagine many people are surprised by that. But as is usually the case, probably educators would be the ones that would be struck by that the
That
most.
Yeah, I mean, there's always people on a very tight budget who would
Right,
go for
right.
the budget option. I mean, just as Google Cardboard itself had a huge take up when it came out, and it was meant as a sort of gimmick, if I recall. They didn't intend it to take off, which is why it was a
An
folded out bit
experiment
of
like in a
cardboard. But
lab, yeah, in Google
yeah, they
Labs.
gave it away at some
Yep.
conference or other, and then everybody actually started using it, and other people made ones to imitate it, and then people thought, oh, well, if this is big, we'll make them out of plastic too, and there never was a Google plastic, but there was Google cardboard made in plastic, if you see what I mean. Yeah, and Daydream was meant to be a step up from that. Basically, having created the cardboard experience, then they wanted to move up to a sort of better fidelity version of that kind of low end thing. So I imagine, I mean, I hadn't got one. Unfortunately, I do have a cardboard, but it blew up all my phones. Well, no, it actually got everything I ever put in it got far too hot. Um,
Right, right.
I
Yep.
don't know. I don't, and Daydream was much more of a platform rather than an actual headset, so I don't really know whether that was any better. So yeah. I mean, the Oculuses and the HTCs show what is now possible, and then your prices of those are coming down. You've got the untethered ones coming along that are, genuine VR devices that are untethered, not
Yeah,
simply things you stick your phone into.
yeah. Ten,
Um,
10 days
I,
to the Quest.
yeah, I think the phone business, stick your phone into this headset, was a loser from the start. It also adds considerable weight to the thing in front of your eyes. And gets very hot, was damaging people's equipment, So I don't think it's a great loss. And presumably, it still works.
Oh
If
yeah.
you've got something that doesn't overheat and you've got apps on it, it's not a write-off. It's not like Facebook suddenly disappearing from the the face of the earth.
Well, in
I
the
mean, which
platform, I keep
yeah,
the little fold up lenses. I mean, it's not a whole enclosure, but it's just some
yeah,
lenses you hang on your phone, and I can instantly show someone here's what VR is like, and they can hold it up to their
yes,
eyes. It's that actually works quite nicely.
yeah. If you want a quick demo, yeah, I would
Yep.
imagine. Because even something like the Oculus Go, which I know a lot of people have sort of thought it's untethered, take it there, you can show people it and show people the experience, even if it's not the best of devices. But it's still, you can't fit it in your pocket and it doesn't fold up to fit in a big pocket. You would definitely need a bag to carry it in.
Hmm.
And it doesn't come with a carry case of its own, so you'd have to wrap it up fairly carefully before you took it out in a bag. Um, it's not really possible, but I mean, I suppose if you were going to a conference or going to a school or something like that, you pack it up at the beginning of the day, take it with you, unpack it when you got there, and for demo purposes or something, it would do its job. I certainly admit that the first time you ever put something like this on your head, the experience is absolutely revolutionary. You don't actually fully, even if it's only 360 video, you don't fully understand what having your whole visual panorama covered is actually like, because we're so used to looking at 2D screens. Um, it really is like real life, where you turn around and you're seeing everything from every angle, sometimes up and down, and even where there's holes in the thing where you can see out where your nose is and things, which destroys the immersion a bit. you still get to realize just what the experience is like. Um, and what is possible. Of course, what is actually possible depends on the sophistication and undoubtedly the cost of the device you use, and also as is now becoming clear, we have not got anything at all on the market yet that is lightweight enough, powerful enough, and convenient enough for people to use. And we have examples, but they are not in the public frame of mind at the moment of actual content that is attractive. Sort of there's no. Sure, you can put on a 3D headset and you can look at a virtual cinema screen, so it's like being in an IMAX theater instead of watching your television. But there aren't that many use cases. We have social virtual worlds and all that, but um, there's no compelling use case for, I don't know, the average housewife or even the average kids, who will always, they'll pick up a headset, put it on, play with it for a while, and then get bored and want to take it off and move on to something else. It's just that compelling. Yeah, it's not the content that's lacking, because that's changing, but it's just the compelling use case. You've got the gamers, you've got educators, you've got some people in industry that have very great enhancement possibilities through VR, but there's no compelling use case for that for in the home, which of course is the one place the people marketing these things really, really want to be, and they're not getting there. But we still have our virtual
Hmm.
worlds. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Anyway, I think we're done in that case. Unless you've got anything else to say, you'll just just get me off again.
That's that's
You'd think,
that's what the show is for. That's right.
I know, you think after reading out all that news, I would have. be exhausted and want to shut up. And what happens? I start all over again.
There are just
Right.
too many interesting things.
Too many interesting things indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's it for this week, folks. As I say, if you have been watching us live, thank you very much for watching us live, even if we did turn up a day early. But this show, like all our shows, is available in perpetuity, as it were, on my YouTube channel, which is Mal Burns on YouTube.
Hmm.
Which I should point out because the Metaworld channel is actually a live stream, which we don't use anymore. So, okay, I had a very feeling there was something else to mention. I can't think what it is, so we'll leave it to next week. I might remember by then. Um, in the meantime, it is goodbye from me. Oh, sorry, it is goodbye from him.
Oh, and I'm sorry, it's goodbye from him.
Yeah, from me and him, and then him and me, and both of us basically. Yeah. So same time, same. Sorry. Sorry, just let me just turn that wind up key again.
Yep.
Right. Same time, same place next week. No, same time, same place, different day.
Different day.
Back to
The usual
Sundays
day,
next
right.
week. Yes, usual day next week is what I meant to say. And yeah, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.